I think I'm gonna make a little bet with y'all in exchange for an Artemis Analysis. If they reveal a new Mario and Luigi game on the upcoming Nintendo Direct, I'll do an Artemis Analysis redone, even if it's just a port of the OG games or an announcement for one coming later down the line. And feature yourself cosplaying Luigi. That's real as fuck. I find it unlikely. Why I made the bet. But if it's true, then that means I technically win at life. Yo! Well, I'll be damned. I'm a man of promises. Artemis Analysis redone will happen a few weeks from now. Mark my words. I never thought I'd make a new Artemis Analysis. I made one back then that was pretty half-assed, considering I was new to making content, and it's just so old. So old. But now we can finally return to the one and only Artemis. There's a few reasons why I'm returning though. The one, of course, being because I made a bet, but also because while Artemis used to be my least favorite legend in the past, she's not my least favorite anymore, actually. She's my fourth least favorite. So yeah, there's that, I guess. I've never liked the Lance very much. Scythe is super overplayed, her signatures are absolutely wild for how her whole character works. It's just, Artemis is a complicated can of beans. While I have a lot of negatives about her character, she undeniably has some positives. Maybe I should be balancing which legends I choose for legend analysis videos, since we did just do Nyx and Volkov. But hey, some people can't get enough Scythe in their life. And honestly, maybe it's good that I'm getting her out of the way so my Discord server can stop bothering me to do an Artemis Analysis. Speaking of Discord server, why don't you hop in? Yes, you. We're having a great time, and you can bother me to do an analysis of your choice if you want to. The link will be down in the description if you want to join. But that's besides the point. Let's hop right into the signatures. Out of most of the legends in Brawlhalla, Artemis has the most busted sigs in the game, so we're not holding back at all. Lance Insig goes far too high. It's not the most busted Lance sig, dear god, it's absolutely not. But this one is still a little overtuned. It'd be nice if it didn't reach up so high into the air, or at least had less force to compensate. Because for how much strength Artemis has, she shouldn't be killing that early with this signature. And that goes for side sig as well. Why? Too much force, too safe, too quick, So, yeah. I think we're all in agreement the sig is a bit too strong. I'm overreacting. Obviously, the sig hits mostly grounded, so if you just jump over it, you can punish accordingly. This is probably a skill issue on my part. I don't complain about sig spam, in fact. I think it's quite easy to fight if you know how to, but Artemis is one of the few that can still get away with it for me, due to how early some of her signatures can kill. Yeah, Loki and Thea might be annoying, but you know what they don't have? Force. Artemis's Lance side sig will kill in orange, and that's facts. I'm dare to say the previous version of the sig was actually more balanced. It only hit on the tip of the sig and didn't travel across the whole thing. If only we could go back to a time. Simpler times. Lance down sig is... it absolutely can pack a punch, I'll give you that. But it has this thing that none of Artemis's other sigs has. End lag? Crazy, right? Either way, it's a fine sig, just leaves you stationary for a bit longer, and I think that's fine for its power. Onto the Scythe kit, it's slightly less strong, but let's be real, still strong. Scythe Insig can be very quick. Throw that bad boy out and you'll probably survive. It hits in a pretty wide area and probably could use a nerf. This one I have a bit less experience with especially, so take this one with a grain of salt. I don't have too much to say on it. Scythe side sig I would say is probably her worst signature on Scythe. If you've got the dodge read, then yeah, I suppose it's solid. Just when compared to her other stronger signatures, it doesn't shine as brightly. Solid really is the one word I can use to describe it, because it's kind of just that. I really thought I'd have more to say on the Scythe signatures. Either way, we're heading down to the final one, and arguably the strongest one, down sig. I feel like the range on this one is absolutely wild. Of course, if you're using the onstage version, it's actually one of Artemis's worst signatures, but the offstage version is super nuts. In a similar fashion to Lance Insig, I would say. On a wall, it can be a nightmare, but if you're in a good spot, you can punish this one a bit easier than Lance Insig. It just kind of depends on how you approach it. Overall, though, my explanations of the sigs really explains which one I think is better. That being her Lance game. It's just so much better. Trust me on this. Going on to her skins, she's got a wild amount of them and a few new ones at that, so let's not stall at all and get right into it. God tier has Void Zenith, Slapshot, and Iron Lady Artemis. Void Zenith is kind of a given, the visual effects are godly. As for Slapshot and Iron Lady, I know these aren't really too liked, but that's what makes me like them. Slapshot was a normal shop skin that was kind of ignored, and Iron Lady was ignored on launch because people just like the clips way more. They stay in God tier for me. Pretty good tier has Street Race, Seraph, Peacock, Future Spirit, and Event Horizon Artemis tier 3. All good for their own reason. Street Race is just super slick, Seraph is super classy, Peacock one-ups Seraph on the level of classy, Future Spirit has such a sick theme, but the color swaps bring it down for me. And Event Horizon Tier 3 is animated in a nice way and looks decent with color swaps. No complaining there. Mid-tier has Default, Eclipse, Darkheart, and Event Horizon Artemis Tier 2. Default is just average to me, Eclipse is nice too, but a little overrated. Darkheart is a bit strange too with color swaps, but hey, Darkheart is a baller theme. And Event Horizon Tier 2 is just a downgrade from Tier 3. Still looks quite nice though. Lastly, in Med Tier we have Netherworld Artemis, Demon Rider, and Event Horizon Artemis Tier 1. Netherworld, while decently cool at the time, kind of wore off. Demon Rider just makes no sense to me really. Unique, but just meh. And Event Horizon Tier 1 is just a downgrade from Tier 2. The progression skins kind of go in order. So yes, while I don't like Artemis, she has a great skin lineup. Nothing you can get out of tier this time around. Tier list wise, out of S, A, B, C, and D. Look, a part of me wants to say S tier. It really does. But let's be real, Lance and Scythe aren't the best performing weapons in the game. Artemis might be stronger in lower elos, but I'm at 2350 plus right now, damn it. I should know how to fight these types of playstyles. Granted, people at that elo can make absolutely anything work, no matter how hard you play the best 1s or 2s legend. People will make it work. So again, while I do want to say S tier, I have to settle with low S tier. Even on the edge, like high A tier. Sorry gold players, we don't win this battle tonight. Although I'm inching more towards low S with how our stat lineup goes. 5 attack, 5 dex, 4 defense, and 8 speed. I mean, a Lance and Scythe legend with 8 speed. We hadn't seen anything like it at the time. Most of them had around average speed, sometimes even 6 or 7, but nothing like this. This amount of speed isn't very detrimental to the average Artemis playstyle. With a legend like Thea, the 9 speed is more of a handicap rather than something that helps you. On a legend like Artemis, she has a solid strength stat to help with her killing, and even her defense stat is higher than Thea's. I know I shouldn't be using Thea as an example here, but come on, no one likes Thea. Except me. I love Thea. But that's besides the point, any stance would work here besides dex. Of course, if you run attack, you're going to be a bit of a glass cannon, but defense takes down on speed, and speed takes down on dex, which are probably the two most optimal stances. But with all of that kept in mind, of course, Artemis has a high play rate. Good at lower elos where most players populate the game. At higher elos, she can also be extremely menacing since Lance and Scythe are 2 weapons that can delete a stock in mere seconds. It's a little scary, honestly. Overall though, if she isn't dominating pro play in 1s or 2s, then maybe it isn't as big of a problem as I believe. Is it truly just a lieutenant lover lady skill issue? What the hell am I talking about? Disregard everything I just said. She's broken and she needs to be buried into the ground. At least gameplay wise. Admittedly, Artemis's design is really cool. I love how she was portrayed in the Loki reveal trailer, and maybe one day we'll get to see what's under the helmet. One day, Mary Washington. One day. Of course, if you enjoyed this analysis, feel free to like and subscribe. It helps out so much more than you'd think. And until next time, always remember to keep on brawling.